Today we're going to be talking about the art of the NASCAR fight. Throughout the years, there's been many fights ranging from just a little argument to full-blown fisticuffs. Some of these fights get lost to time, and their respective reason for why can be different. So today, I've collected a handful of forgotten NASCAR fights and conflicts, and I'm going to show you them and explain to you the reason why they are forgotten. Alright. So the 2013 Toyota Care 250 at Richmond was an eventful race, especially for the driver of the number 2, Brian Scott. He ended up getting in a wreck late in the race, but he was able to bounce back, until contact for 15th place with Nelson Piquet Jr. sent him backwards again. And for those who don't know or forgot about it, after the race this transpired.
Trouble on the cooldown lap between Nelson Piquet and Brian Scott.
We keep trying to make things better and better, and it's working, and he did a great job tonight.
And Brad had 2 restarts to get it done, guys, and a lot of other activity going on in pit road.
Yes, there is. Some not happy people.
Yeah, I don't believe PK will have room at Shore Lodge anytime soon. But they're not happy with each other.
We're running 15th, and Nelson, I don't know, for 15th place decided he was going to move me, ran us up into the wall, did way more damage to our car than was already there. And when I went to talk to him, he just pushed and shoved me, and then kicked me below the belt, which I think is just a chicken move. And I don't know. I guess we'll move on. Proud of these guys. They fought hard. We didn't have a fast enough Shore Lodge Camaro to do what we wanted, and we were just trying to limp home and get what we could.
No, basically, I think a few laps to the end, the two slid in front of me. I touched him, and he went inside. We both nearly spun. I passed him. That was it. At the end of the race, got the checkers, went slow over there, and he door banged me. And he did the same thing to me in Martinsville just because I dived in the inside, and I didn't, I never touched him in the back in Martinsville. He got pissed off because of that. I let that go, but I'm not going to take any more crap from him.
I personally think that the reason why this race isn't as remembered is the fact that it was between 2 drivers who are already forgotten and out of NASCAR in general. I think this reasoning has happened to a couple other fights in history. Speaking of which, our next example is that exact same thing. And this one ironically involves a driver that was involved in the crash with Brian Scott in that previous fight.
We're in for all the hell, guys. That 16 runs flat over everybody.
Because during the 2016 Pocono Green 250, Ryan Reed and Ryan Sieg got in a fight during a rain delay.
His career. During that rain delay, Ryan Reed and Ryan Sieg, they were involved in an incident. They had to be physically separated. Their crews got into a scuffle. This is a view from Reed's car. The driver's involved in a crash prior to the...
I think this one comes more down to the fact that the only good camera view is from Reed's in-car camera. One more good example of a forgotten recent Xfinity fight was between Dylan Bassett and Brandon Brown.
He drove it off in there.
I mean, look how quick he finds him on the pit lane.
Yeah, I've definitely done that, but I've never. He held on to that grudge a long time. That was, what was that, 100 laps ago? I can't keep that much anger held for that long.
Your attention span doesn't last that long.
I think that's what it is.
Okay, so we've gotten a look at some fights that have been mostly forgotten due to the drivers involved. But what about some fights that have been forgotten over time? The 2001 Autolite 250 at Richmond was a chaotic race with lots of cautions, one of which was for Jay Sauter on lap 18.
No doubt about it. Jay Sauter behind the wall. You started 4th, had high hopes, and obviously you got some help there. Did you and Biffle have a run-in before that?
Well, I'll tell you what, I've raced with Greg a lot, and his elevator don't quite always get to the top floor. I don't know what he was thinking so early on. We'll just get her fixed and get back to racing.
21 laps in, guys, already. The tempers are flaring. Jay Sauter behind the wall with a lot of work to do as we get ready to go back to green.
The car would go into the garage for repairs and not get out for another 87 laps until this happened once he got back on the track.
Trouble, turn 4. Biffle and Jay Sauter. Payback? Possibly.
Yeah, but see, Biffle was trying to move the Granger Ford. It would not move. And here we go. He's hot.
Yes, he is. This is going to get interesting. And that's going to get expensive.
That's going to be expensive.
Could be another one of those long lines outside that big office trailer in the garage by the end of this evening, don't you think?
To me, the answer why this one is forgotten is obvious. The fact that this fight is over 20 years old, along with the fact that it wasn't a big memorable brawl. Another really good example of this case is the 2005 All-Star race when
It's off the corner, but he can't do it. Martin on the high side, he's going to win the battle off turn 2. He's going to take the lead down the back straightaway. 5 to go next time by in his first segment. You just can't get off the bottom over off turn 2. You've got to have that outside, and that's going to be big on these restarts. Who's going to bank $75,000 here? Oh, got a car around, several of them. Kevin Harvick, this is the big one, boys. We have it here every year. Looks like about 10 cars involved. Casey Kane, Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards. Michael. Dale Earnhardt Jr. went through the grass and might have missed it. Kevin Harvick hit the wall.
We just got a little right front, guys. Get you.
Dale Jarrett trailed the wreck, as did Matt Kenseth. Nemechek's in it, Michael Waltrip, Martin Truex, and Terry Labonte. That's a mad crash car right there. And that's a couple of mad drivers right there as well. Yeah, something happened up here off the turn 4. Somebody got sideways or got into somebody. I couldn't tell exactly what happened. We'll take a look at it here maybe in a minute. Just remember, these two drivers had an altercation in the Gatorade 150 back in Daytona as well with each other. Joe Nemechek and Kevin Harvick not pleased. This is always a race of great excitement, fever pitch, and that includes the temper and frustration level as well. High expectations. You come in here with high expectations, that creates big disappointments. Yikes. Joe Nemechek in the 01 car. Was it from contact from Stewart?
And we caught up with Kevin Harvick. Kevin, a lot of frustration boiling over.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Joe Nemechek's supposed to be the guy that never does nothing. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Walking by, and obviously, I'm tired of Joe Nemechek, you know, acting like he doesn't do nothing. And it may not have been his fault, but after Daytona and I should be fired and all that, he can take that and show it where the sun don't shine, baby.
He's talking with crew chief Ryan Pemberton, and Joe, you've had a chance to look at the replay, and you were hot when you came out of the care center. Your thoughts?
Oh, I'm still hot. You know, Kevin Harvick thinks he owns the world, and he ain't squat, you know. That wasn't my fault out there. Somebody tried making it 3 wide coming off the corner. Here we just restarted the race with 6 laps or 5 laps to go, and
there's a replay.
I guess it's Tony Stewart in there, but you know, everybody's racing hard. You know, you want to get up there in the transfer spot. We all pitted and had good tires. And you know, just something happens there. I don't exactly know why that happened that quick, but I got on the outside of guys. I'm trying to be careful on new tires, and I had a great car. I'm sorry for all the U.S. Army folks, my team. They work hard building these cars, and we came here to win. You know, the first 40 laps, you sort your car out and then you go on. But looks like some people got impatient. As far as Kevin Harvick, he can do what he wants to do. You know, he thinks he owns his racetrack, but he ain't squat.
Joe, what do you say to you over there?
Oh, he's just being an idiot, just being Kevin.
One thing of note is that all of these incidents have been televised. But how many fights in the past have been missed? Maybe they were out of the public's view or no camera could get to it. This is what the next two are all about. Late into the 2017 NASCAR Xfinity season was the Texas Night Race, named the O'Reilly Auto Parts 300. Ross Chastain, driver of the number 4 Chevrolet, was battling the number 62 of Brennan Gunn, also in a Chevrolet. The two would make contact several times in the race. This would boil over to an off-track brawl in the garage after the race.
Stretch. The 62 and the 4 seems like it's never ending between these two. As the 4 trying to get by the 62, up the racetrack they go, and sideways is Ross Chastain in that 4, but able to clear the 62.
These two keep banging into each other at this kind of speeds, and it's not going to end well.
The brawl in itself has zero footage. The only info that the fight has ever happened comes to the remarks made by the drivers involved and the NASCAR officials at the scene. A Racing.co article depicts the scene. This is me quoting the article. If you'd like more information, check out the link in the description. I'm going to be putting it down there. So this is Ross Chastain's story of the incident. When we pulled down off the track, for some reason we pulled down behind Victory Lane, which probably didn't help things, you know? It's dark and there's no lights back there. As I was getting out of the car, I was surprised to see him and an allegiance of RCR guys. He had me by the neck, and I was still coming out of the car with my feet in the race seat. Sitting on the door, I realized there was about 20 guys surrounding us, and I had 3 guys at the time. It was ugly, not something pretty to think back on. They definitely had the numbers, and it showed. I had a couple of guys for the number 0 car jump in to help. We thought we had it calmed down, and then I got hit in the back of the head and taken down into a golf cart. I don't know if it was just fists or stomped on a little bit, you know? It's pretty crazy stuff. I definitely had a lot of things going through my mind at that point. One of which is how to get the heck out of the situation. Definitely not impressed with the amount of people that came down there with Brendan and just went to wailing. I got hit in the back of the head and one of the number 0 guys did as well. He ended up going to the hospital. He's fine. I'm at the race shop and he's here. And hopefully this describes the scene in a decent manner.
Editing Logan here. I just realized I have no transition between this fight and the next one, so on to the next one. I'm such a great YouTuber.
So this fight is similar to the last one, but way back in 2006. This was at the Texas night race when Kevin Harvick and Scott Riggs got together late in the race.
Oh, he's getting them loose. He's getting them loose, and it races him hard into the wall. Caution is out. Oh, Kenseth goes around. Kenseth, another championship chaser. Jeff Gordon is through the grass. Scott Riggs running second.
And again, the fight was never caught on camera, never televised, just depicted through people's word of mouth. Again, this will be me quoting an article, this time ESPN, similar deal, link in the description. So again, I'm going to read off what transpired. Kevin and Delana Harvick were walking to the infield media center for a post-race interview when 2 of Riggs' crewmen made several comments to them. They were talking a little smack, which is normal, and then one of them came up and gave Kevin a push in the back. Kevin fell into Delana and she fell into a NASCAR official, and the 3 of them fell to the ground. It looks like Scott Riggs was not directly involved in this one, rather the crewmen were the ones to instigate the fight, at least to the point of shoving.
I'm such a great YouTuber.
So yeah, so far in this video we have discussed fights that have been forgotten for many different reasons. Maybe they weren't that exciting. Maybe they have been lost in the minds of many over time. Maybe they don't have any footage of it at all. But with all that, I think it's time to discuss one more. A fight that has footage, a fight that is exciting, but forgotten. A fight that I believe deserves to be mentioned more. The 2006 New Hampshire 200 for the Craftsman Truck Series. Now, I remember seeing full highlights of this race, but when I went back to research for this video, I couldn't find anything on it at all. This race had wrecks and carnage galore, one of which was caused when David Starr, yes that one, got into Todd Bodine. This led to 2 things after the race. Bodine, who was angry, slammed into Starr after the race, but what's more important happened after that.
David Starr, obviously staying in his truck, now climbing out. He's got some enemies on the racetrack right now, and they are going to fight it out. Not happy at all. These 2 teams mixing it up. The NASCAR officials are jumping in. The problem took place when David Starr moved all the way up and got right up next to the 30 of Todd Bodine on the pit road.
That started before the 30 moved up to the 11. They exchanged some words, and the 11 drove away from him, and then the 30 pulled away from the 11, and then the 11 came back at the 30 on pit road. NASCAR will not smile, will not think much of this activity.
Todd gets out of his car, or his truck.
Emotions run high down here, Adam. And Mike Hillman Sr. and Mike Hillman Jr., 2 of the guys that are involved, and they're back at it again. They had slowed it down. The NASCAR officials had calmed everyone down. David Starr climbed from his truck, and now there are 4 or 5 guys from Germain Racing going after David Starr. One of them climbing up on Todd Bodine's truck. And things starting to simmer once again. A NASCAR official has got a hold of Mike Hillman Sr.,
Dennis Adcock, one of the lead officials for NASCAR, right in the middle of this. It had settled down after one of the guys from Germain Racing had pulled David Starr from his truck with him still having his helmet on. Then everybody calmed down. Mike Hillman Jr., the crew chief for Todd Bodine, came down, and Mike Hillman Sr., the general manager for Germain Racing, was down here as well. And once again, it would appear that NASCAR has got this under control.
What a fight, by the way. Rarely do we get a brawl that goes on this long. And to think that this one's been mostly lost of time, that's actually pretty impressive. Anyways, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. It's probably going to be a short video, but a sweet one. A little bit different from the typical things I've been doing on YouTube, but I've been trying to do a lot of different things this year. And with that being said, I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to head out and, well, take these off. See you guys in the next one.